Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is CJ, UFC Picks, the Smoke Sesh, along with my co-host Gibbs. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like the video, share the video, and comment on the video who you got for this card. For UFC Fight Night, it's going to be Tatsuro Taira versus Alex Perez. Decent little card going on. What you think about this card, bro?
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a good card too, man. You got some, sophomore guys making their coming into the fight, and you got some old bucks, so it's gonna be a good one. Good main event as well.
Not a bad main event. Very interesting main event and very interesting lines to say the least. I was looking at some lines today and I already made one bet that I will share with you later on in this video. But make sure to subscribe, like I said. Make sure to like the video and hit up my dude Gibbs. He's got his own channel. Make sure to subscribe to his channel as well. So, like I said, tonight we're going to break down and give you our best picks for UFC Fight Night Perez versus Tatsuro Taira. That's going to be a very interesting fight. On Saturday, I went 8 for 6 for UFC Fight Night Louisville. I went 8 for 6, and I hit 3 of my bets out of 7 bets that I made. How'd you do?
Yeah, brother. So I went 7 for 7 out of the picks, man. I had a couple that didn't swing my way, like the Andrea Lee. That didn't swing my way. But as far as betting, it was a pretty good betting week. I think it was like I had like 6 bets, hit 5 out of 6 of them. I'm happy about it.
Not bad, not bad. So we still did pretty decent on the last card, and on this card, we're gonna bounce back and try to do better for UFC Fight Night Perez versus Taira. Let's share the screen real quick so we can get this going for you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, UFC Fight Night Perez versus Taira going down on June 15th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the start time for the prelims. I love early cards, bro. I don't gotta stay up late.
Facts.
All right, let's start off for the first match on the card, first fight on the card, scheduled in the men's featherweight division, and this is gonna be a banger to start off this card, folks. We got Shayilan Nuerdanbieke versus Melky Costa. Shayilan Nuerdanbieke, 39 and 11. He's only 30 years old, a lot of experience under his belt already. 5'8" with a plus 150 underdog number coming in on this fight. Melky Costa, 20 and 7, minus 180 favorite, 27 years old, and he's 5'10". Like I said, this is a banger to start off the card. And I don't know, man. I think this fight's not going to distance. Somebody's going to get stopped in this fight, in my opinion. Because both guys can crack. Both guys got experience under their belt. And Milky Costa, he's a little bit underrated, in my opinion, man. And I think he's got more durability. He's got better speed. But I think the power is going towards Nuerdanbieke. My pick for this fight is Milky Costa to win inside the distance by knockout, TKO, or submission. Who do you got in this fight?
Yeah, man. I think I'm rolling on the same side, and probably for the same couple of the same reasons, man. You got a guy in Milky Costa, man. He has a lot of output, and yeah, he definitely has power. We see in his last one, he definitely got overcome with power in Steve Garcia. Hit him with a big bomb, and Steve Garcia followed him to the floor. You got a guy in Shayilan Nuerdanbieke. This guy is coming in trying to really get you to the ground and throw big meaty right hands. And there's a world where he does get him to the ground and he's controlling him because it's just we've seen him do it before. Some I definitely thought was interesting is these both these guys are coming off knockout losses to the same guy and Steve Garcia. So, you know,
Yeah.
it was a body shot for Shaylin, and then it was a big right hook that got Costa out of there. So I'm going with Costa to probably do the same thing in Nuerdanbieke, but what I will say is there is a world. I'm actually not. There's a world. I'm going to have a Shaylin Nuerdanbieke ticket by decision because if Costa doesn't knock him out, the minutes will be winning for Shaylin Nuerdanbieke. So
I
I'm
could
going
agree with that.
Costa.
I
Yes,
could
sir.
agree with that, but I'm not betting this fight. I might just bet the under.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. But we can slide on. I got Costa as well, so we're lining up there. And next up, we have Yulia Polastri versus Josefine Knutsson. And this is going to be a good one because you got Josefine coming in 7-0. Yulia Polastri, she's coming in 12-3. 26 years old for Yulia. Josephine, 28 years old. 5'3" for Josephine, and Yulia Polastri is 5'2". And Polastri will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage, and she will need that because in this fight, she's going to be the one trying to keep this fight on the feet. Knudsen is a woman who definitely likes to grapple, but one could say that she's not that dangerous. And in a fight like this, if Knudsen is not really doing any damage on the ground, and Pelostri's beating her up on the feet, that's what the judges are going to go by because that's how they're judging fights. So believe it or not, I'm actually going with the dog in Yulia Polastri to win this fight. I'm just have not been impressed with Josephine Knudsen, and I'm going with Yulia Polastri. What you got for me?
Man, both of these girls are not trustworthy in my opinion, bro. I'm staying away from this fight. I'm not impressed by any of these girls, and I did tape on this fight. Unfortunately, I did tape on this fight, and I was bored out of my mind, bro. To be honest, because like I said, they're not impressive in my book. Um, but I have to go with the already proven fighter that I've seen in the UFC in Josephine Knutsson. She's already been in the UFC, so those jitters are it. And this is Julia's UFC debut, right?
Is it? Yes, it is. She is coming
Yeah,
off a Contender Series submission
yeah.
choke, so she has that on her side.
So I mean, they're still at the apex, which is kind of still the same, but it's a little bit different because she's making her official UFC debut. So she's gonna have some butterflies in her stomach. She's gonna have those UFC jitters, those UFC debut jitters, and I think that's gonna come into play in this fight because Josephine already been through that. So I'm going with Josephine here, probably by decision. Staying away though, man. Staying away. All right, let's go up to the next fight, guys. Scheduled to be in the men's featherweight division, we got Jaka Saragih versus Westin Wilson. Jaka Saragih, 14-3, minus 340 favorite, and he's 29 years old. Westin Wilson, 16-9. He's plus 270 underdog, and he's 35 years old. I think this line is absolutely crazy because Jaka Sagari, to me, he's not really UFC caliber, and Weston Wilson isn't really UFC caliber either. But I'm going with the dog in this fight, bro. I'm going with the dog in this fight for real. I think he's got a chance to win. He's on a two-fight losing streak, but something's telling me that this line's way too off, man. And when the line's way too off, I gotta go with the dog, bro.
Yeah, man. I could see how you're going Weston Wilson, man, because to be honest with you, I went back and watched Weston's career maybe 2 fights ago, and the dude was pretty slick on the ground. To be honest with you, the dude was controlling people, submitting them up, beating them up on the floor. But just since he's been in the UFC, man, he just has not found a way to win in there. Jeka Saragih, a guy coming off a TKO to Anton Jubli, got knocked out by that in that fight. That was the road to UFC, and then he came back and knocked out that one guy, Alexander, Lucas Alexander. I was like, man, that was good. Went back and watched that fight, and he caught his kick. Lucas Alexander had tried to stand up, got clipped, put out. He was actually a big dog, busted everybody's brackets that night. But I gotta go Jeka Saragih. I feel like on the feet, this fight is gonna be extremely volatile, and on the feet, Jeka Saragih is gonna be in his face, and it's a guy I feel bad for in Weston Wilson. I hope I'm gonna be rooting for him. I promise, but I gotta go Jeka Saragih by
I just
TKO.
like that. I just like that height and reach advantage too in this fight too. That's why I picked him.
Does have a
But
4 inch reach advantage.
I don't know if I'm gonna bet it though, bro, because two-fight losing streak is a bit of a red flag, and I don't like betting fighters that have a losing streak like that. So yeah, we'll
Don't
see,
blame
man.
you.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but we're gonna slide to the next one, and we got Carly Judice versus Gabriella Fernandez. We're gonna go Fernandez for the fight today because I've been hearing that in tape. So you got Carly Judice, man, a chick who is really green. She's really green, man. She's not good at anything. She's not great at anything, but she's good at wrestling and she's good with the striking. One will say is she backs up a lot when she's on the feet. One could say that Carly doesn't look comfortable on the feet. Um, and she's coming off a contender series loss to Ernesta Karakite, which we just saw her look good versus Diana Barbosa. That was pretty good. So she's coming off a loss. She lost her O, and she got a contract here. So she's really looking to impress Dana White. But in this fight here, I have to go Gabriela Fernandez because Fernandez is a chick who she had a tough like. Listen, she's been going against Jasmine Jazdavicius and Teresa Blazer. Like those girls would kill Carly. So the level of competition is on Gabriella's side by a landslide. And she's going to be the better wrestler because she's really a jiu-jitsu practitioner. And if Carly's as green as I really think she is, there's a world where Gabriella gets her out of there by an arm bar or something because Gabriella's never been knocked out or she's never been submitted. So Carly's win condition, Carly's never won a decision. So I just don't see a world where Carly Judice wins this fight. So what you got for me, CJ? I got Gabriella, man.
I got Gabriella too in this fight, bro. I don't see Carly winning this fight at all. Only 4 fights under her belt, 4 professional fights under her belt. So she's still pretty green, like you said, still learning, still evolving. And Gabriella has more competition, a far better type of competition in this fight, and she's got more experience. She's already been in the UFC, and this is Carly's UFC debut. And you and I both know how I feel about UFC debuts, bro, because they're not proven yet, man. They haven't proved nothing yet. Give me Gabby Fernandez all day in this fight. Not betting it though. Not betting it. I'm not betting women's fights anymore, bro. I get always burned. All
No cap.
right, let's move on up to the next fight, guys. This is gonna be a banger fight right here. I love the both of these guys. We got in the men's bantamweight division, Garrett Armfield versus Brady Heastand. Garrett Armfield, 10-3. He's a minus 170 favorite. He's 27 years old. Brady Heastand, he's 7-2, plus 140 underdog, and he's 25 years old. Both of these guys are fast on the feet. Both of these guys got that dog in them, and both of these guys go at it. They will fight for your money. I like both of these guys, man. I was going back and forth on this fight, but ultimately, I landed on Garrett Armfield to win because he's got better wrestling, he's got more powerful hands, and I just like his grit more in this fight. Not gonna sleep on Brady Heaston. I'm thinking about betting this fight, man. Money line for Garrett Armfield. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I've got to go Garrett Armfield as well. I think Brady Heastand is going to be a guy to look out for down the road. But man, I just feel like he's running across a guy who's just better than him everywhere. If I had to give Brady somewhere he's better at, maybe the wrestling, but I just feel like Garrett Armfield has better defensive wrestling because we just seen Brad Katona crop snitch Jesse Butler all day last night, or depending on when you're watching it last week. But Bracatona didn't feel comfortable wrestling with Garrett Armfield because he knew that he would just expend energy and he probably wouldn't get the takedown. I just feel like Brady Heastand's going to get caught on the feet, as in like he's going to be stuck on the feet, and it's a matter if Brady's tough enough to not get knocked out because Brady Heaston has been knocked out. He got knocked out by Chad and Helliker. If he gets knocked out by Chad and Helliker, you can't tell me that Garrett Armfield can knock him out. So I'm going Garrett Armfield by decision, but it wouldn't shock me if he knocked him out. So we're gonna
Now
slide
you,
to the next one.
now you convinced me to even bet him even more, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm on that. we got next up. We got Nate Maness versus Jimmy Flick, and if we're gonna go to the tell of the tape, we got 15-3 for Nate Maness. We got 17-7 for Jimmy Flick. 33 years old for Jimmy Flick. 32 years old for Nate Maness. So Nate Maness is 5'10" at the flyweight division. If you guys remember, he used to be a bantamweight. Got a nice little knockout versus Tony Gravely versus in the bantamweight division. So I thought that was good. 4-inch reach advantage for Nate Maness. Jimmy Flick. The first time I got on this show, my first fight, I predicted Jared Gordon versus Jimmy Flick. So I respect Jimmy Flick. But in this fight, I don't got much love for him in this one because he's going against a guy, Nate Maness, man, who's just probably better than him everywhere. And on the feet, Nate Maness is just liable to knock him out at any second with any punch at any moment. Um, I think Nate Maness will be a minus 700 when his feet touches the canvas because he's just better than Jimmy Flick everywhere. And I'm done.
First of all, shout out to Jimmy Flick. He's in my MMA group chat. He pops in there every once in a while to say hi and on Instagram. Nate Maness, man, he's a dog, bro. He's a dog, and he keeps coming at you. He doesn't give up, and he will fight for your money. And Jimmy Flick, he's got durability issues, bro. He can take hits, but once he gets more damage throughout the fight, he just gives up on himself. I think you know what I mean.
Oh,
And I think Nate Maness is gonna have faster hands, on the feet, and just better everywhere the fight goes, bro. This fight is pretty easy to call. There's a reason he's a minus 400 favorite. Not bettable, but you can find your spots in this fight with props, probably. Nate Maness by submission, Nate Maness by knockout inside the distance. Any of those plays will be good. So yeah, I'm going with Nate Maness in this fight. I'm sorry, Jimmy Flick, bro. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's go on up to the next fight, guys. And I can't believe this is on the prelims, and this is going to be a banger, guys. We got in the men's flyweight division, we got Tagir Ulanbekov versus Joshua Van. Two really good prospects, probably the top of the line prospects in this division. Tagir Ulanbekov, he's 15-2, minus 225 favorite, not a bad line. 32 years old. Joshua Van, 10-1. He's undefeated in the UFC. He's 22 years old, and he's someone to look out for. Both of these guys are. Tagir Bekov, he's got good wrestling, good submissions. He's got sneaky KO power, good cardio as well. And Joshua Van, good boxing. He's fast on the feet. He's always moving, man. His cardio is good as well. This is going to be a very good fight, a good war. I would not be shocked if this fight goes to a decision, and that's exactly I think what's gonna happen. And I got Tagir Ulanbekov in this fight, bro. I'm gonna throw him in a parlay. I think he's just gonna be better, more experienced, and just tougher in this fight. What do you think?
yeah. So this is gonna be a good fight. We got Tagir Ulanbekov, man, a guy who hasn't been in the octagon for a little bit. Tagir, a guy who doesn't really like to fight for real, for real. He likes to wrestle. He likes to get in grappling matches. And if we're gonna say one of these guys from from Russia, he's one of the guys from Russia who are probably on the lowest of the total pole in the UFC. I don't know. He hasn't impressed me. Every time I watch him, I'm not impressed. But when I watch Josh Van, I'm super impressed. I'm impressed with his takedown defense, and I'm impressed with his hands. There's a world where Tagir wins because I mean, obviously he's the big favorite. But I'm going Josh Van in this fight. I'm banking on Josh Van to be able to keep this fight standing and be able to crack Tagir with something because we've seen Tagir crack before, and I'm definitely banking on Josh Van to keep his win streak. So that's just what I'm going with. I could be wrong, but I'm
I
banking on it.
I just feel like this is a huge step up in competition for her, bro.
He was supposed to fight Taira, so he had been Josh Van. Another thing, I'm glad you said that. Josh Van was getting ready for Tatsuro Taira, so he had a wrestling camp. I
Yep.
think that's gonna pay dividends. So I'm gonna go
Yep.
to the next one, and we are on the main card, folks, where we have Adam Fugitt versus Josh Quinlan, and I ain't gonna bullshit. One could say I'm biased because I am an Adam Fugitt fan, but I watched all the tape on here, so I'm gonna give you guys a non-biased analysis. We got Josh Quinlan coming in, 6-2. He lost his um, you know, 2 fights ago, and he wasn't looking the same. But if we're gonna break down who he's lost to, he lost to Trey Waters, the 6'5", tall guy. I watched him live about a month ago now. Then he fights the guy in Danny left-handed guy Barlow. He had a big reach discrepancy. I think it was 78-70. And now he's fighting a guy in Adam Fugitt, and he has a major discrepancy in the reach again. So basically, what I'm saying is Josh Quinlan stepping back into another fight with a disadvantage. He's lost his old twice, and the pattern, the formula to beat this guy is already out here, and he's fighting another guy with the same type of style. Adam Fugitt's going to style on him. He has the better cardio. He has the better hands. And I would say, I don't know if I would say he has the better chin, but he does have a good chin. He took some good shots from Hunter Renfro, I think the guy's name was. He's pretty good. But I'm going Adam Fugitt in this fight. I think that eventually in the second or third round, he's going to melt Josh Quinlan, and Josh Quinlan will be out of the UFC. But he's getting the best version of Quinlan because he needs this for his UFC career. What you got for me?
I think Adam Fugitt is gonna knock this guy out, bro. 2 losses in a row, not a good look. Adam Fugitt, like you said, gonna have the height advantage, gonna have the reach advantage, so that's gonna be good for Adam Fugitt in this fight. Josh Quinlan, bro, just not trustworthy in my opinion, not UFC caliber in my opinion. Adam Fugitt, he's won the last 3 of his 5 fights, while Josh Quinlan only won the last 2. And his last 2 fights, uh, he got knocked up by Danny Barlow and lost to Trey Waters, like you said. Give me Adam Fugitt, and I got him at plus 100, bro. Let's go.
Good shit.
All right, let's move on up to the next card, guys. This is an interesting fight right here. In the men's flyweight division, we got Asu Almabaev versus Jose Johnson. Asu Almabaev, 19-2, minus 420 favorite, and he's 30 years old. Jose Johnson, 16-8, plus 320 underdog, 29 years old. Think that line is a little bit too wide, but Asu Almabaev is he's a beast, man. He's a beast. He's in a nice little winning streak, almost in the top 15 in this division. He's young. Jose Johnson, he's got pretty decent boxing, pretty decent striking, but he starts off too slow in my opinion. He doesn't pick it up until like the second, third round. So that's my worry about him in this fight. I wish I can bet Asu Almabaev, man, but minus 420 is too high, bro. That's just not bettable, bro. Maybe a parlay piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Asu Almabaev either by submission or a decision. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I'm definitely thinking Asu Amabayev here. At this line, it's crazy because I definitely think that there's worlds where Jose Johnson is giving this dude issues because Jose Johnson's very slick, man. This dude, Jose Johnson, is not somebody you want to play with. He's really rangy on the feet and he's crafty. Um, I definitely think that there's a world where he knocks him out because if you guys want to go back, if you guys are got some free time after this, go look up Jose Johnson versus Rafael Costa, one of the scariest knockouts you ever see. Jose Johnson hit him with an elbow in the back of his head and dude had a seizure. So you can't tell me in this dude in a wrestler in a suit, Almabaev, who went for 12 takedowns versus Ode Osborne, something like that can't happen. So at minus 420, I'm staying away from it. I just smoke my 420. I'm staying away from that line. Shit.
That
So yeah,
makes sense, bro. That makes sense.
On that note, we can slide to the next one, my guy, in which we have
Well, who
Douglas.
you going for? Who are you going for?
I got. I said I got Almabaev. I got Almabaev,
Yes.
but there's a world where Jose Johnson can win, so I'm staying away from that line. So next up, we got not Jose Johnson. We got Miles Johns versus Douglas Da Silva, and this is gonna be an actually pretty good fight, to be honest with you. And that's why the line's so close on this one. minus 115, minus 105. That line is correct. Miles Johns, you know, I actually tried to fade him in his last one versus Cody Gibson, and my bet was looking pretty good. Yeah, I tried to fade him though. And he was looking good. Cody Gibson was looking good in the first round, but surprisingly, Miles Johns came back with the gas tank, and I wasn't expecting that because Cody Gibson just had the war with Brad Katona, showed the massive gas tank. I thought he was gonna be able to style on him, but hey, he didn't do it there. Miles Johns, he's an underdog here, and that intrigues me because if Douglas Da Silva doesn't knock Miles Johns out, which we have seen Miles Johns knocked out, but Bautista knocked him out with a flying knee, so we've seen him knocked out. But if Miles Johns doesn't get knocked out here, guys, he'll be the better minute winner easily. And Douglas Da Silva, he's shown, Silva de Andrade, excuse me, he's shown that he can't really defend a takedown. He's powerful, but he throws these big bombs. Most of the time, people come under him and they take his ass down. But hey, he does. He's 29-5, so the guy wins. He wins more than he loses. I'm not gonna sit here and say Douglas Da Silva can't win minutes, but I'm going Miles Johns here, man. Believe it or not, that's just what I'm doing. What you got, bro?
I'm riding Miles fucking Johns again, bro. I never faded this dude in his UFC career. He's only has 2 losses in his career, which is pretty damn impressive. He's 30 years old. He's gonna have the youth advantage, and he's gonna be faster, bro. He's gonna have better cardio. Obviously, Douglas Silva de Andrade probably fought the tougher competition, and he's got more experience on his belt. Definitely, right? He's more accomplished. He's more proven. But Miles Johns gets slept on each and every time, in my opinion. But I'm not sleeping on Miles Johns, bro. I think he's gonna win this fight, and I'm gonna bet him, bro. Absolutely, minus 105 is a great fucking line.
I agree.
Let's go on up to the next fight, guys. Scheduled to be the men's featherweight division. Lucas Almeida versus Timmy Cuamba. Lucas Almeida, 14-3. He is a plus 150 underdog, 33 years old, 5'11", with a 71-inch reach. Timmy Cuamba, 8-2, excuse me. He is 25 years old, 5'9", with a 71-inch reach. This fight is pretty interesting, guys. Lucas Almeida, 2-fight losing streak, and Timmy Cuamba, he's on a 1-fight losing streak. Timmy Cuamba, not very proven in the UFC as of yet. He hasn't had many UFC fights under his belt. Lucas Almeida, he's been there, but he's on a 2-fight losing streak, guys, which is not good. I was going back and forth on this fight, guys. This should be more of a pick 'em in my opinion because both of these guys, I don't know who to pick, man. I still don't know who to pick. This is a coin flip fight in my book. But if I had to choose, I'm going with Timmy Cuamba to win by decision. I don't see a stoppage in this fight.
So I actually am agreeing with you 100%. Timmy Kawamba is the side to be on after looking at the tape, man. Because Kawamba was looking good versus Bojai Oki, if you guys remember that, man. He was a big underdog, came in on 10 days notice, and he looked good. Lucas Almeida, a guy who definitely has been struggling in the UFC. One could say that he has been going against some tough people in Pat Sabatini and Andre Fili. So I mean that is tough. So the level of competition is easily on Lucas Almeida's side. But when I go back and dig into those fights, I just feel like Lucas Almeida is blowing his wad. Like he had cracked Andre Fili early, and then he gets cracked right back and knocked out. And then Pat Sabatini throwing big meaty clubs, and then Pat Sabatini digs under, grabs his leg, takes him down, and arm triangles him. So I think there's a world where Timmy Kawamba is probably just beating him up on the ground or on the feet, pushing him up against the cage. He showed that he had Bozai Oki on the cage for like 7 minutes. It was a little boring, but if we're talking betting here, your money on the line, I'm feeling good with my man throwing knees and elbows against the fence. So I just got Timmy Kawamba to just gas this dude out, and he's probably just going to win a decision like our guy CJ. from UFC Pick said. So we're gonna go ahead and slide to the next one with a lock. I think Timmy Cuamba is gonna win that fight easily. But we're going to the next one, Ikram Aliskerov versus Antonio Tricali. And Antonio Tricali is coming in on short notice. And I think that's why the line is what it is. And to be honest with you, I think the line, if that line, I mean, I might have to throw number 12 money from Jack in the Box on Antonio Tricali to win. Because I mean, at plus 600, you can't tell me that Ikram can't be knocked out. I'm going Ikram Aliskerov. I just want to make that clear because he's the better boxer and he has the better cardio. He just hasn't been able to show it because guys haven't been able to last with
Don't
him,
waste your money, bro, on Tricoli. He's gonna lose, bro. You know
bro.
this. You know
Bro,
this. Come
you
on.
you right. Hey, come on, man.
Come on,
Hey,
bro. Don't donate
plus
money to the bookie.
plus 600 though.
Never donate money to the bookie, bro. Ikram Alaskarov is gonna win this fight in the very first round.
Hey, man, I agree. I agree. Actually, looking at it though, dude has fought. Wait a minute, Antonio Tricali hasn't fought in 3 years though. Yeah, you right though. Yeah, you right.
Dude's gonna get knocked out quick, bro.
That line though, minus 900 though,
I mean,
in a fist fight.
that's an automatic lock because Ikram Alaskarov ain't no joke, and you know that, bro. His last fight knocked out
He,
Orly Alves, knocked out Phil Hawes, submitted Mario Souza. So his last three fights were finishes, and I expect another
I,
finish in this
I
fight.
ain't, I ain't been impressed with the people he's been fighting. That Mario Souza fight in the middle, that's probably the fight that I've been most impressed with. Yeah, you can slide over though.
Who could Jokoli beat?
Man, I think Tricoli shit, man. I think he'd knock out, bro. You give him probably Julian Marquez. He'd knock him out.
All right, guys, let's go on up to the next fight, which is the main event of the evening for UFC Fight Night, Perez versus Taira. Before we give you our picks, before we give you our breakdown for the main event, make sure to subscribe right now. Make sure to like the video, share the video, join us for the smoke sesh. We're always smoking that fire weed, giving you fire picks, and we're just having a good time like we always do. So here's the main event right here, folks. Scheduled to be in the men's flyweight division. We got Alex Perez, 25 and 8, 32 years old, 5'6", 65.5-inch reach. He's a plus 165 underdog. Tatsuro Taira, he's undefeated at 15 and 0, minus 200 favorite, 24 years old, 5'7", 70-inch reach. And I got Tatsuro Taira at minus 185, folks, which I think is a freaking steal, and you're never going to see that line again. He's going to finish Alex Perez. Taira has one of the best submission games in this division. He's got great takedowns. He's got good cardio. We haven't seen him go 5 rounds, but I'm pretty sure he can go 5 rounds. Alex Perez is going to have the advantage by having more experience under his belt. He's fought the top of competition by far, but Tyra has impressed me each and every single time he stepped into the octagon. He's already in the number 12. And he only fought in the UFC what 3 or 4 times. This is like his fourth or fifth fight in the UFC. Pretty damn impressive, and I can see him being a title contender very soon. If he wins his fight by finish, I think he's going to be next in line. So give me Tatsuro Taira by submission.
Yeah, man. I gotta go Tatsuro Taira as well, but I definitely gotta throw a caution on this fight because Alex Perez is a tough guy. A lot of people counted him out versus Nikolai. I banked in, and I think it was like $2,000 that night on Alex Perez. So great night for me. Alex Perez is a guy, man, who's been trying to get these guys off him this whole time, man. He's been practicing wrestling for probably the last 10 years. All these guys that he has lost to though have been grapplers. Makayev, then you had Pantoja, and then you had Davidson Figueiredo. He had choked him out in the title fight. I think what really scares me is I went back and watched the Carlos Hernandez fight, and our guy Tatsuro, he couldn't get Carlos Hernandez out of there. But I went and seen what Alan Nascimento did to him. He got him out of there in the first round, took him down, didn't even play with his food. So I think there's a world, where Alex Perez can knock this dude out because I mean we seen Tatsuro Taira get clipped versus Edgar Tyrus, but this is a no bet for me. But I'm going Tatsuro Taira.
All right, let's go. That was the breakdown, folks. So that was our picks for UFC Fight Night. Perez versus Taira going down on Saturday, June 15th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the prelims. Early card, 13 fights scheduled. What's the next card, guys? It's Whitaker versus Chimaev. That's going to be an excellent card. And that's another early card. I love those early card guys. Don't got to stay up late, which I love. Because I'm going to know, man. I don't know if I can keep doing this shit. Early lean, though. Early lean on this. Gotta go with my dude Chimaev, bro.
Oh, wow. I'm going Whitaker early, man. I think that's gonna stick too.
I think I'm going with Chimaev, dude. And then for Pavlovich Volkov, I think Pavlovich can get the knockout.
Oh yeah, it's I ain't gonna say it's easy, but yeah, we've seen Volkov knocked out too many times at this point.
You think plus money on that?
Yeah, no, yo, you talk about that with a parlay with Shemaev and
No, just
Pavlovich.
Pavlovich by
Oh,
knockout.
Pavlovich by knockout. Probably in the first round. Yeah, probably minus 120. You know the motherfuckers.
So join us for that, folks. We're gonna do that this Sunday. This will be up on Monday, probably Monday afternoon after I get out of work. I'll put it up on YouTube. Make sure to join us for this card for the Saudi Arabia card. That's gonna be a good. There's a lot of good fights on that card. Subscribe to the channel. Join us for the smoke sesh. Any last words, my dude, bro?
No, man, I appreciate everybody for giving us the time and everything, man. I appreciate it, CJ. Appreciate your effort, man, and your dedication, my boy. We're gonna keep it running, keep making this money, my boy.
Let's go. Join us for the smoke sesh, y'all. Keep it coming and take it easy. We're out of here.